We'll observe silence for a few minutes. Om. So we are on the fourth chapter of this book, and last week we finished subtopic 3, emotional level, attachment versus detachment at emotional level. That's what we covered last week. So yeah, repeat. We are on the fourth chapter, attachment versus detachment, and subtopic 3, emotional level. So any questions? All right. So let's move on to the next topic, egoistic level.
Egoistic level. Yet another frightful quality of the human mind is its yearning for name, fame, honor, position, power, and the like. Few realize that respect and honor has to be earned through one's selfless service and sacrifice to others. One should thus command respect and recognition, not demand it. Besides, the wise who have no ego understand that reputation is of little value in one's life. William Shakespeare, in his play Othello, summed up the absurdity of this trait in striking words. Reputation is an idle and most false imposition, oft got without merit and lost without deserving. What is fame? It's just a name that lulls people to sleep. It is but an intoxication of the ego. The overbearing ego topples a weak intellect. It has led people to a vulgar exhibition of wealth, force some to hoard money for that purpose. In India, people borrow heavily, spend indiscriminately to conduct the weddings of their children. As a result, several families are lost in the vain exhibition of wealth well beyond their worth and status.
So, what is detachment at egoistic level? So, that's the discussion. See, your life's mission, everybody's life's mission, is to liquidate ego, that sense of I and my. So, it literally poisons your personality. The deadly poison of your personality, in your personality, is your ego. Ego is that I, my, too much attention to oneself, that proprietary spirit in you, which claims everything as mine, links everything to yourself, my body, my mind, my intellect, and whatever possessions you have. So your personality is born, you are born because of an ego. So ego creates the individuality. Wave is born because of its individuality. There is no wave in the ocean. It's ocean. But wave assumes a false personality. I'm big, I'm small, whatever. So you can apply that example. So if you did not have an ego, you wouldn't have been separated from the supreme reality. So the fact that we are born is a proof that we have an ego. So due to ego, you are separated from the truth, from reality, from God, as it were. And innocently, you go on feeding that ego throughout your life. Right from early childhood, it starts and it continues. So, how to tackle that? So, that's what he is explaining to us. 3 or 4 main points are discussed. So, a lot of people they want respect. So, first of all, why you want respect? This is what he's telling us. You command respect, you never demand respect. Even at home, you can't demand respect from your own spouse, from your own children, or from anybody for that matter, in your workplace. Due to fear, they may respect you, but that is not fear. And that is not respect. It's not true respect. So you command respect when you serve. So that spirit of service and sacrifice commands respect. Due to that, you command respect. Number one. And even if you have respect, people are respecting you, you are recognized for whatever is your contribution. Wise people understand it has got absolutely no meaning. So that's what he's telling us. Like Shakespeare tells us in Othello, I mean, what is reputation? What is this recognition? It's an idle and the most false imposition. Meaning gossip. In layman's language, it is gossip. Oft got without deserving and lost without, sorry, oft got without merit and lost without deserving. So people make a loose talk in the family, in the social, when you meet your friends or in any gathering. You may say a few good things. People, they don't know. Oh, he's a great guy. I mean, you don't know, it is a hearsay. And then that builds somebody's reputation. Oh, he's a great guy. He's really talented, or whatever. Like sports, for example. Oh, he's a great lawn tennis player. How many of us understand the game of lawn tennis? How many of us understand cricket? How many of us understand golf? So everybody is saying, therefore, we say, okay, he's a great sportsman. Also, people make a loose statement. Oh, that guy, he is corrupt. He must have given his whole life for the cause. Somebody makes a loose remark somewhere, and that reputation goes. So, therefore, he's saying wise people, they don't have any value for reputation. It's a hearsay, it's a loose talk. So, why are you paying any attention to it? So, it's very interesting construction. Oft got without merit, meaning is a loose talk. And lost without deserving. When that person does not deserve, he has not done anything. Loose talk brings that reputation down. You must have heard the story of a Chinese philosopher. Those who are doing e-learning, Swamiji often gives that example. It's fascinating. So all he said in his life was, "Is that so?" It's poetry. You need to understand. He was a he was a saintly man. So everybody used to talk high about him. So his disciples or people from that city or village, they used to go and tell him, "Sir, I mean, everybody is talking about you. You are so famous. Is that so?" Then somebody started gossiping and he lost his reputation. People, they went and told him, "Sir, everybody is talking ill about you. Is that so?" Again, after a few months, mischief mongers, they confessed, "Sorry, we wanted to bring about his downfall. Therefore, it was a plot against him." So people went and told the philosopher, I mean, you have regained your reputation. Is that so? This fascinating example. So therefore, why are you paying any attention to reputation? It has got no, to a wise person, it has got absolutely no meaning. You may have it, you may not have it. I mean, who cares? And best of people, they are not known, incidentally, in any field. A true doctor is not known. A true lawyer is not known because he will never advertise. You won't find billboards. You know. Similarly, in the spiritual field, I mean, who is a great person? Nobody knows. And unfortunately, those who are genuine, nobody follows such people. So why do you care for reputation? So it is nothing but intoxication of an ego. You understand that word? What is that intoxication of ego? Reputation is intoxication of ego. What is that intoxication? What does he mean by that intoxication?
Like the validation one receives from the feedback.
Yes.
The attachment,
Attachment to what?
respect,
Mm-hmm.
or how people see them.
Yes.
It's sort of like an addiction, right? Because once you start getting it, you want more and more, just like when we spoke about money the other day. It is never enough. And then you work towards protecting that versus growing.
Correct. It's an addiction. Like when you're intoxicated with alcohol, you're intoxicated. When people talk high about you, you feel high. Correct. So all these are correct answers. So therefore, you will do anything to get that validation from people. So he's giving examples like vulgar display of wealth in weddings. It's a typical example. I don't know, maybe 70-80% of Indians, they suffer from this weakness, especially well-to-do. I don't mean to be personal, but my Indian friends, those who have married their children, I am sure minimum $250,000 they must have spent on each wedding, minimum. I may be off the mark by $20,000, $30,000. $250,000 is like on the minimum side. And it's for what? So that you can brag, this much I spent. And another person, he says, oh my God, he spent $250,000 or $1,000. Okay, I will spend $500,000 on my daughter's wedding. So there is that competition going on. For what? You get it? For what? That validation, that you get that intoxication. Oh yeah, he is great, he is rich. And whom are you impressing? Who gets impressed by this display of wealth, vulgar display of wealth? Whom are you? What kind of people are you impressing?
Those that have less than you.
Those who have less than you, okay. But that doesn't mean everybody who has less than you will be impressed. We are not wrong. But what kind of people, what is their nature? Whom are you impressing? Who will get impressed by, underline the word, vulgar display of wealth?
The ignorant.
Those who find value in material.
Gross people.
People of the same kind.
People of the same kind. Gross will impress the gross. Any person who has higher values, no way is going to be impressed by all this display. So for what all this effort you're putting and you impress a set of people who are actually detrimental to you?
So is it, Amiji, is it then if I am impressed by someone who has achieved something and let's say has reputation, and maybe, is an ignorant person, is this a sign for me that I'm maybe also ignorant or following the mundane versus the divine?
No, it depends on what are you impressed with. If you're impressed with a person who has achieved something spiritually, then that speaks to your character. So if you go to Florida, Fort Lauderdale, I'm sure most of us must have been there. So they take you on a boat ride, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, they take you. There's a running commentary going on. This house belongs to, I don't know, Jackie Chan. This house belongs to, who are the actors now? Brad Pitt. These are how they tell you, and you should see people's reaction. Wow, wow, and they're taking photos. Then they show you the yachts. You know how much it costs every day to park that yacht there? The people, they make a guess. Then that commentator, he tells you $60,000 every day he's paying. So if you are impressed with that, it shows your character. You see what I'm trying to say? But if you're impressed by somebody's service and sacrifice, what's wrong with that? So that speaks about you. So therefore, I said it's It is gross which attracts gross. Similarly, children's achievement, and any person of substance, any person who has got value, he will never talk about his children's achievement. Now, there are some parents who go on bragging about their kids all the time. When they graduate, I mean, I have attended some graduation parties, 12th, after 12th, they gave, One such event was close to 100 tables were there. In fact, more than that. And one table, maybe, I don't know, 10 or 15 people. $500,000 they spent on a graduation, or their son's graduation. And he got selected in all Ivy League schools. So he so per se is okay, why not? But then they had displayed his certificates right from he was in 4th or 5th grade, some 50 or 100 thing, and like must have spent a lot of money, proper expensive frame. Intoxication of that ego. Any time you can lose that. That's the beauty. That's the tragedy. So therefore he says wise have no value for reputation. It's like having value for ignorance. That's another way of putting it. Due to ego, you have come into ignorance, and due to ego, you stay put in ignorance, that I, my. So any person who has that obsession for I, my, that reputation, recognition, he is having value for ignorance, to answer Lina's question. There are people who want awards, and a lot of manipulation going on. Some of them, they have paid money to get those awards, and then later on they were exposed. Nobody knew Christ in his lifetime. Yeah, poor person had only 10 disciples, isn't it? And that too, one turned out to be a traitor, Judas Iscariot. Buddha had a handful of disciples. Nobody knew him in his lifetime. Nobody knows Swami Ramatirtha even today. Even those who say, I know, 99.99% are wrong. If I ask them who is Swami Ramatirtha, they will not know. Will say Swami Vivekananda's Guru. No, he was Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Swami Ramatirtha, nobody knows. The best of people, they were not known. They did not care. In 1902, or even before that, Maharaja of Teri Garewal, it was a very rich kingdom in India, in the north part of India, in the Himalayas, where Ananda Spa is located. Some of you been there, that palace. So that king, 130 or 40 years back we are talking about, he offered, I think, some 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs rupees to Swami Ram Tirtha, and he said, let's start some mission. So in today's currency, it will be worth, I don't know, millions of dollars, 10, 15, $50 million dollars. He said, all missions are my missions. We did not start anything. So therefore, he is not known. See, that does not mean those who have started something, everybody wants name, fame, reputation. Converse is not true. He didn't care. If you come to Vedanta Academy, not even in one place you will find Swamiji's photo. Not even in one place you will find. And you go some of the missions, it's all about that personality. life-size photos, or sometimes, I don't know. The missions are named after them. Amit Institute of Vedanta Midwest. I'm just giving you. There is no such thing. So wise, they don't care for name, fame, recognition. You have it, it's okay, fine. Why are you denying it? That also is ego. You understand, maybe I done something right, therefore people are praising me. Even if somebody brings you down, why do you have value? I mean, you did not have value only to begin with. So how does it matter? Isn't it? The home also, I heard sometimes partners, they say, so much I did for my family, and see, this is how they are treating me. Why do you care? If you have genuinely served your family, and why do you care? If they are not able to see your service and sacrifice, it's not worth it. And that person could be your own son, your own daughter, your own wife, your own husband, gross people. I mean, why are you bothered? If you are bothered, then you belong to the same level. You want that intoxication of ego. You want name, fame, recognition. So, to conclude, life's mission is to what? This is how we started. First statement was same. Concluding statement also is same. Life's mission is to
Eliminate the ego.
perfect. Only Lina is listening, nobody else. I don't know. Repeat. They haven't understood. Lina, say it one more time.
Life's mission is to eliminate the ego.
Take notes what she is saying. Vijay, where? I don't see the proof. Okay. Any questions? Next, he talks about.
Amitji,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so since he's talking about material, physical, emotional, could this egoistic level be equated to the intellectual part of that?
All levels of your personality.
Okay.
See, he's just giving generally. Physical, like, I have 6 packs.
Mhm.
You go to the gym, some people, this morning, 3 or 4 days I go to the gym. One guy was working out with his shirt off, What is he showing off? 6 packs, 7 packs, and every other second he's looking in the mirror. He's admiring himself, and also he's looking how many people are admiring him. Physical level, emotional level. I mean, doesn't need any explanation. I have done so much of service. I have done so much of sacrifice. That itself could be an ego. Or you want that feedback from your spouse. Appreciate me. Every day I'm cooking for you. This I am doing. Similarly, intellectual level. I know Vedanta, pit pat now. Two courses of e-learning I have done. Last 10 years I am studying. So I know the knowledge. I'm well versed in scriptures. Or you could be proud of your spiritual growth, so-called spiritual growth. The moment you say I am grown spiritually, I mean, it's the opposite. So therefore, you have to go to the definition. Ego is that claimant in you, isn't it? How many times we define ego? It is that proprietary spirit in you. It is that entity which connects body, mind, intellect to yourself. This is mine. This belongs to me. So that definition of ego covers everything.
Thank you.
Undue focus on one's personality, either positively or negatively. Even negative also is an expression of ego. I am nobody, I am miserable, I am suffering, I am poor, I am being tortured, I am victimized, poor me. Undue focus on one's personality. Are we okay?
But Amiji, I have one question. Is ego not also this let's say something that also protects us, that we remain safe? So it's, I think when you say undue focus, right? So that's where you draw the line, because if I think my ego has also a positive side by protecting me if needed. Is this correct, or do you see it differently?
No, see, go back to the definition. Ego is, due to ego, your personality is created. You are born because of an ego. Ego brings about a separation from supreme reality. So how can there be anything positive about it? You get my point? So you have to go back to the definition. There is no wave, but wave has assumed an individuality which it doesn't have to begin with. The wave is nothing but the ocean. So who are you, end of the day? Who am I? Who are we? We are nothing but supreme reality, but we don't experience that. We don't understand we are supreme reality because of the ego. So ego has created that separation. So how can we say it be positive? And also any thought of I and my is nothing but we are feeding that ego. So how can that also be positive? So to begin with, it is negative. You continue with it, it is negative, and it ends with negative, meaning you remain separated from the reality. But that is different from, you can't go out on a dark street where there is nobody, middle of nowhere. I don't know whether you're referring to that. That you better be careful. That is different. That doesn't mean you do anything stupid, you know. But from absolute point of view, that also is an expression of ego. See, that ego creates that duality, isn't it? So what are you afraid of? If you are experiencing oneness everywhere, what are you afraid of? What is that fear? See, again, giving the example of Swami Ramatirtha, I mean, he used to roam alone in the forests of Himalayas. Even if you go there now, during daytime, you and I will not go. Forget about nighttime. I used to roam, stay in a cave. I've been to that cave a number of times. Even in this visit, it's somewhere in the jungle. Now road and all is there. At that time, you had to walk for 20, 30 miles to access that cave. And in his journal, he writes, he calls himself Rama. So Rama was roaming in the forest and a tiger passed by. Once he was attacked by 6 bears, bear and a family. He writes like, Rama has nothing to fear. He looked them in the eye. I mean, that is reality. I am reality. Have we reached that level? Is the question. Don't go into the forest. Make sure that if you see a bear, run or whatever you're supposed to do. So you can't take it to the extreme. But even if you take it to the extreme, it is still same. A person whose ego is dissolved 100%, what is there to be afraid of? But we can't. We have to assess ourselves where we are. So from that standpoint, what you're saying is positive. Naturally, you will want to preserve yourself, isn't it? Being a lady, I will not recommend you on lonely street where there is nobody, you go walking. Better not do that, isn't it? So that is definitely, in that sense, it is positive. But also it would be like too much focus on your personality. That two different things. Action being same depends on what is your attitude. Anybody would like to protect himself or herself. I mean, there's nothing wrong in that. But that can be done with too much emphasis on one's personality. Or it can be done by correct assessment. You get it? So again, it depends on where is your focus. But to answer your question, if that's what you're asking, definitely it is not negative. Are we okay?
I have a question. What is Asmita?
What is Asmita? I mean, I don't know. You have to explain. I did not use that word. You
No,
use
you
that
have
word,
not.
so you have to explain.
Someplace I heard there are ego, which is a good ego. I'm not sure right or wrong. It is known as Asmita.
Why bring in words and confuse ourselves? I think I have told this to you in the past also, isn't it? See, if I use a particular word, then it is my obligation to explain myself. So I did not use that word. So why should I explain that? You use that word. If it fits into what we are studying, then you understand the meaning of that word. There's nothing wrong. But why bring in extraneous concepts? This is how we confuse ourselves, you know. But I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, my obligation is to explain the concept. Now you can understand it in your own words. There's nothing wrong with that. Deepaji, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Group is okay? Somebody
Anup
raised
Bhatt.
a hand.
Anup Bhatt.
Yeah, that was me. I raised the hand.
Yeah.
This is Anup here. So I think what the lady was talking about, Asmita, should be something like what Krishna says to Arjun. You should fight Duryodhan because he did something bad to Draupadi, a woman, not to kill Duryodhan because he did something to your wife. If you are fighting because your wife was disrespected, that becomes an ego clash. But if you're doing something because you must not do something like that to a woman, then that becomes something like what protecting the Asmita, what the lady was saying previously. So I think that is the difference between ego and Asmita, right? If you're not fighting for yourself, but you're fighting because this was a dharma on a spiritual level, then it becomes something that is Asmita. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
See, again, I'm repeating. Did I use the word Asmita here? Is that word used in the book? Then what are we discussing here?
No.
What is? I'm not saying you're wrong. Outside this class, I mean, Deepaji and you can discuss. I mean, it's none of my. I have no jurisdiction on that. I did not use that word in the class right now. Did I use by mistake? I don't know. If I use, then obviously it is my obligation to explain. Swamiji has not used that word in this chapter, in this topic. Then what are we discussing here? So this is how we deviate. I'm not saying you should not use these words, but the words which are not used here, we are somebody asked the question, somebody is giving the answer, teacher himself is not giving the answer, and somebody else is giving the answer. I'm not saying you should not do that. Don't get me wrong. You may do it outside this classroom. Why unnecessarily confuse ourselves? As it is, we are confused. Attachment, detachment, we are racking our brains. On top of that, Asmita, somebody may say Samvita, all gone. end of the day, nothing gets in. So we all must talk the same language. This is a fundamental principle of communication. Understand this. When you have any discussion, you should have that discussion within that framework, at home, in your workplace, wherever. Anyway, so are we okay with this topic? Next topic, religious level. This was explained in detail in the last chapter when we talked about religion. So I'm not going into minute explanation, but I will point out the main points. It's quite straightforward. Raji?
Religious level. The most devastating quality of the human mind is its fanaticism towards religion. The mass of humanity is fanatically attached to one's religion. Few identify with the quintessence of religion, and there is no attempt to understand the underlying truth of religion, the truth which integrates humans into one divine soul, which reveals the supreme reality of life. Every human being is like a river, consciously or unconsciously determined to reach the ocean of reality. Religion provides the essential expertise for individuals to merge with the ultimate being, the repository of infinite peace and bliss. The word religion etymologically derived from Latin terms re and ligare means to rejoin. The Sanskrit word yoga, derived from its root yuj, means to unite. Both indicate the spiritual course for a seeker to regain his supreme self. Hence, your mission in life is to study spiritual literature, contemplate upon its truths, and attain your divine being. But the mind is involved and attached to the affairs of the mundane world. Your primary obligation is to avoid the mind's enchantment for the objects and beings of the world and reach the self within. You need a powerful intellect to prevail upon the mind and maintain objectivity until you gain spiritual enlightenment.
See, any religion, whether it is Hinduism, the correct word would be Vedanta, whether it is Christianity, whether it is Buddhism, whether it is any other religion. Any religion has got two aspects. One is philosophy. Philosophy is nothing but eternal truths, which are same. Whether Christ spoke, whether Buddha spoke, whether Lord Rama spoke, whether Krishna spoke, they said exactly the same thing. They spoke eternal truths. So philosophy is same for any religion. But the rituals, the stories, some traditions, they definitely differ from religion to religion, but they have got nothing to do with the message as such. But vast majority, perhaps 90-95%, they are lost either in mechanical rituals, blind faith, superstition, or some stories. Krishna said this, Rama said this, in a battle this happened. I mean, I'm not, yes, obviously these stories, they have got a moral. But if you don't have a knowledge, you get lost. What are these stories? Is nothing minus this knowledge. This is what you often find. People are discussing, they are debating about non-essential. Nobody has a clue of what these stories, these rituals, certain traditions they are based on. So if you have the knowledge, once you master the philosophy, meaning absorb it, then it becomes quite clear. We also mentions some stories from time to time, isn't it? But with this knowledge, it becomes easy. You can relate to it. So most people, they have no clue of what their religion is, which is nothing but philosophy. Philosophy is the core of any religion, and philosophy is same for any religion, which is called Vedanta or eternal truths or Sanatana Dharma. So that is number one. So you need to study the scriptures to find out your true purpose in life, to find out true fulfillment in life, and also to manage your life. So from relative level or absolute level, how can you live without the knowledge of religion? It's nothing but instruction manual for life. We often use this term. Third point is, yes, you may understand the importance of knowledge, but your approach has to be systematic. Again, most people, they are not systematic. They read on their own, they watch YouTube. The YouTube has done so much of damage. Not really. Our lectures are on the YouTube. Yeah, you must understand in what sense I am saying. But it's like you go to a CVS pharmacy and you start picking up medicine. Okay, this is good for me. That is good for me. Like you come out with a basket full of medicine. If you take all those medicines, literally you will die. If you show that to any doctor, he'll say, "Oh my God, poison you are taking. This medicine mixed with that medicine." So this is what happens to people who don't study scriptures systematically. Just playing with words, lost in the words, this concept, that concept. End of the day, nothing happens. They don't get any benefit. So you need to study scriptures systematically. You cannot straight away study Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad. It is like a PhD or beyond PhD level. Traditionally, it was taught much later. A lot of introductory books were taught. That tradition is lost now. Therefore, Swamiji has written so many books which prepare you to understand the subtle philosophy of Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad. So your study of scriptures has to be systematic and methodic, that too under somebody's guidance, supervision, a qualified person, not somebody who is doing it part-time. I could be that person part-time. I'm not doing it part-time. I'm just giving you that example. You find out whoever that competent person is. I'm not saying I'm the competent person. If you feel I'm competent, you learn from me. But whoever that competent teacher is, you must learn under somebody's guidance. And the best way to learn Vedanta or any scripture for that matter is 3-year e-learning course of Vedanta Academy. If you do not want to compromise. So these are pre-recorded lectures of Swamiji in Vedanta Academy. What I learned. So same thing, you have access now, access to those lectures because of technology. So it's a complete course on Vedanta philosophy. 12 books are covered. You have 3 years. I mean, you can take more, doesn't matter, more time. So that is, if you don't want to compromise, that is what you have to study. Second best option is study class. This is what we are doing. And in addition to study class, you have to attend question and answer sessions. So without clarifying your doubts, without listening to, even if you just listen to question and answer session, somebody is asking question, if you listen to that discussion, you will get clarity. So it depends on what is your level of inspiration and interest. So systematic study of scriptures. If you are ready, don't compromise. 3-year e-learning course, at least 20 people are doing here in Michigan. Next best option is study class, followed by question and answer session. And the beauty, see, this is what he's telling us, the last few lines. You need a powerful intellect to prevail upon the mind and maintain objectivity until you gain spiritual enlightenment. So the problem is mind gets involved and attached in the affairs of the world, mundane world. This is what he's telling us. But if you tie yourself to a schedule, you're saved. Sunday morning, you are saved because you have tied yourself to a schedule. Otherwise, what will you do? I don't know. The most Indians, especially the men, they'll be watching IPL. And I don't mind watching IPL. Then they get into the politics of that. Why are you getting to watch cricket, enjoy cricket? That they won't do. This is what happened. This is what, all like, negative stimuli they take. Or some, I don't know, some kitty party or, I don't know, for men's, what is the word? Tigers party and all that thing. So when you commit yourself to that schedule, you're saved. Even one lecture a week is quite a lot to begin with. But those who are doing e-learning, you don't ask me, you ask them. So many of them are here, right from 16, 17-year-olds till 80-year-old people, they are doing e-learning. So everybody says, see, the moment they start lagging behind, they know that, something is not, they're getting involved in the world. So it's good. It may seem negative, but actually it is good. You're supposed to complete, let's say, 120 lectures in 365 days. So you're not able to do that. You feel you're going to need few extra months. So it's okay. At least there is that awareness. So you'll put efforts. You will sleep early because you get up in the morning, and you listen to the lectures. But otherwise, there's no plan, no program. As an adult, you do whatever your mind feels like doing. At least when we were kids, our parents did not allow us to do whatever you wanted to do, isn't it? There's a curfew. Okay, you have to come home at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Now, today you leave home at 10 o'clock. If you want to, who can say whole night you can do whatever nonsense you want to do? Don't take it literally, but this is what is happening. So there's no supervision, there is no control on your mind. So whole life you are victimized. Some weddings, some dog has puppies. For that puppy, there was a baby shower. I heard it last week. I was shocked. I'm not saying it is wrong. Not your dog's puppies. Your friend's dog had a puppy, and for that puppy or puppies, whatever, baby shower, somebody went. What do you do now? You can't even comment on it. The whole life like that. Suddenly you find, where are they? Taken on a cruise. 3 times, 4 times on a cruise. There are people all over the world, from Timbuktu to Mars and Moon and Jupiter, everywhere they go to. So you have money at your disposal, and mind is eager to indulge in that money. So therefore, it is important to commit yourself to a schedule. So the study of Vedanta gives you that opportunity. Are you okay? So apart from that, in the last chapter, I think we had a in-depth discussion on this topic, on religion, misunderstanding of religion. So are we okay? Any doubts, any questions, any clarifications? All right. So the next topic, extremely important, we'll take it up next week. Detachment, renunciation, they are synonyms. Is totally misunderstood. The moment you use the word detachment, people run away. They associate religion to detachment. But what is detachment? Nobody knows. And without detachment, you cannot achieve anything in life: success, peace, productivity, harmony, growth, progress in your own profession. I'm not talking about spiritual growth. So there also it applies. So without detachment, without renunciation, you cannot be a peaceful person. The happiness you are looking for, success, everybody wants to be successful, everybody wants to be productive. You want harmony in relationship. There's only one formula. You have to function in the spirit of renunciation or detachment. See, one of the Upanishads, Isavasya Upanishad, we are planning to do that Upanishad in September, isn't it? Yeah, in person also, of course, it will be online. It's a very famous Upanishad. So right in the first mantra verse, he says, Tena tyaktena bhunjita. May you enjoy it by renunciation. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. So whatever you want, he's talking from absolute level. You want to get there, only by renunciation you get that. You're disturbed, you're mentally agitated because of your attachment. The moment you function in a spirit of detachment, you get everything in life. And it is detachment or renunciation in action, not off action. This is where it is misunderstood.
Top subject.
Renunciation in action, not renunciation of action. So you are dynamic, you are bristling with activity. But at the same time, you have that sense of detachment. If you have that, you'll get everything. You'll be successful, you'll be productive, you'll be peaceful, you will progress in life, in your own field, in your own profession, also spiritually as a human being. So make sure that you don't misunderstand to begin with. Understanding will come later. So remove misunderstanding to begin with. Understanding will follow one day. Number one. Number two, nobody can give up anything in life. Nobody can renounce anything in life. You can only take up something higher. This is where people misunderstand. No child can give up the toys. Impossible. But when the same child becomes a teenager, all the toys are gone. But then you are hooked on to teenage passions. But when you are inspired by career, education, all teenage passions are gone. So no teenager can give up teenage passions. Talk to any parents who are teenagers. So we all have gone through that. If we brought our parents here, they will explain to us what you did as a teenager. 1 million times they used to tell us, do this, do that. Nothing went inside. And then you become an adult. And that is where everybody is stuck. Wealth, name, fame, reputation, all that, family, children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, and somebody tells you give up all that, it is unscientific. So only when you get established in the higher values, you understand the futility of everything. So you remain where you are, but you have that built-in detachment. That is all. Like how we play with children without getting attached to the toy world, isn't it? So exactly when you're established in the higher values, your thoughts are somewhere else, but you remain like any normal person. But you have that sense of detachment. You're not possessive about anything. So therefore, we say renunciation in action, not of action. And that is possible only when you take up higher values of life and living. Nobody does that. So therefore, they are stuck with wealth, name, fame, reputation, family, and whatnot. So with this understanding, we'll study the topic next week. So he explains detachment from various angles. All right, so should we conclude? Anything not clear from today's discussion? Something is bothering you? All clear? Okay, great. See you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amit ji.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Amit ji.
Thank
Amit ji.
you.
Yeah, Amanji.